There's been a lot of talk in the aftermath of the game, Jamie, from Chelsea's perspective, about the positions of Kante and Jorginho. I've seen it said, I heard it said that Jorginho now can't play there. This is Sarri's experiment, which is over for Jorginho, and Kante has to play there. What's your take on it?
Well, number one, Jorginho was not moving from that position. He's Sarri's man. He's built his system around him. Kante's not moving because he's about to sign a massive contract. What I would say straight away is Jorginho has been excellent this season. Now, teams are having to change their system, maybe their style at times, to counteract Jorginho. So that shows how good a player he is and how important he's been to Chelsea. If he's getting man-marked, as he was, not man-marked, but, you know, people around him, Dele Alli, Sigurdsson last week, I think Juan Mata did a similar job. Manchester United played there on him also. That means there should be space for other players. You know, this is Chelsea. We're not talking about a small team. They've got big players. So against Spurs, the space was in the wide areas. They went for the diamond. So, OK, we want to see more from maybe Hazard, Willian, maybe the fullbacks getting involved. The one thing I would say also about Kante is a very average player in the position he's playing now. What I just see a normal midfield player. When he plays here, I see a world-class midfield player. Now, what do you do as the manager? Well, for me, I don't ever think this balance of the midfield ever quite looks right with Kovacevic there. Now, I think it's quite simple, whether Sarri is stuck on 4-3-3 all the time, but playing him actually as a midfield too. And if it was me, maybe Barkley or Willian at times has played in the number 10 role, so you play more of a 4-2-3-1. When I played at Liverpool, we had a player very similar to Jorginho in Xabi Alonso, and teams used to try and stop him. We used to have a player alongside him for a season or two called Momo Sissoko, whose job wasn't to get on the ball and play, but was to be aggressive, OK? Kante is better on the ball than the player I played alongside. So you've actually got two players who can receive the ball. If people want to man-mark Jorginho, OK, Kante can play. We've seen that. We've seen enough of them in this league. But it gets Kante back into his best position, and it might actually relieve a little bit of pressure on him that there's actually two players there looking to receive the ball and get Chelsea playing. I don't think it's sort of a big revolutionary thing that has to change. Jorginho is a top player.
I agree with that. Kante, in the French team, he plays right in the middle. And I think this position, I don't know who you're going to put on the side, or Jorginho there, or Barkley. You can do anything you want, but when you have a quality players like Kante, you play in the middle. This is where he has his best. With the French team, he had a World Cup, just a magnificent World Cup. We don't talk much about N'Golo Kante, but he's...
Why?
Because he's very modest, very humble. He doesn't talk. He's not loud, and I love him because if you take him away from the French team doesn't look the same at all. But he plays in a center position, and this position in modern football is the key position. If I was a manager tomorrow, my priority will be to who is going to play there in this position, because he's the man who's get the ball back. We're going to say to the wingers, just go back. He's going to position everyone. He's going to be the first to get the ball and to pass the ball to the forwards. So, for me, Chelsea are wrong to play Kante in that position. They are wrong. And you're absolutely right. Kante in that position is not good. He's good there.
I think it's an interesting point you make about his personality. Do you think if he was a bit louder, a bit more vocal, that the Chelsea manager might have more of a job on his hands convincing him to play on the right?
David, you have to deal with a different personality in a team. N'Golo Kante is like that. He's a very nice person. He comes out very naturally, very humble. And I think he's a great chance to have players with such qualities and being so humble. He is world champion. He's playing for Chelsea Football Club. I mean, if the manager said, you know, N'Golo, you're going to play on the right-hand side of the team, I don't see him say, no, I'd rather play in a center position. He should have a conversation. They say, well, David, you are my manager. You are telling me that I'm going to play on the bench. I'm not going to be happy, and I'm going to convince you to play me. And this is where he should be. But I don't think he is a kind of, in his personality, it's not within him to say something and to talk too much about that. He's a player. He wants to play.
David, I would expect you to play wherever I ask you to in
Merci
future.
beaucoup.
Thank you.